All right, home theater fans, I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Geoffrey, we seem to bump into each other all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world.
I know it's been Europe. We'll see you out in Denver
Yep.
in what, a month?
I think it's even less than a month, right? I
It's
mean,
even
yeah,
less than a month.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Really cool stuff. So you guys are here at Audio Vice Live. You want to tell us?
First time.
Oh, this is the first
It
time?
is our first time. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, this is quite a showing.
Yep, I know. I mean, I've been, of course, following the show, and now we're very happy to be able to present our products together with Audio Advice here at the show, right? So,
Which is really exciting because, I was saying to you just a moment ago, a lot of folks out there haven't had a chance to experience your gear in action, and it's really special.
all
And
over
it's
the country, yes, exactly. I mean, the country is big, and so we're branching out and trying to find good dealers, obviously, right, that are really serious about what they're doing. And Audio Advice is basically the dealer in the US, as everybody knows, right? So,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Such a big company here in
It
the
is.
US, very
Yeah.
recognizable.
correct, yeah.
So before we dive into what I want to talk to you about, which are the ginormous infrasubs that you guys have just launched, tell us just real quick about the room and what you guys have going on here.
In this room, we work with Trinov as a surround processor, right? And we use waveforming. And for the waveforming, we decided to use our very common model 16-inch active subwoofer, which is a 1 kilowatt RMS 16-inch sealed subwoofer. And we're using 12 of those for waveforming, so 6 in the front, 6 in the back, because the room is quite big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a 23 by 23 and a half by 7.5, I think, room.
So it's not really an ideal shape.
Absolutely not. Normally, I mean, it's the worst of the worst because it's square, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with the waveforming technology and our subwoofers, I think we got it quite nice under control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It sounded
Yeah.
right on point.
Yeah. And on top of that, Adam Pels, who is a very capable calibrator, one of the most famous around the world, I would say, helped us integrate the 32 into the waveforming system because there is no direct way of integrating the infrasonic subwoofers yet into the Trinov, so he helped us do that. And yeah.
Which essentially, I mean, he was telling me he took the center sub channel.
Yep.
And you basically create a crossover right there.
A two-way subwoofer.
A two-way subwoofer.
Yeah.
Right. So the infra sub is going up to about 20 hertz or so. And then your kick sub, which pretty much could kick any other sub right out of the world, that's taking on everything beyond that.
Well, our 16-inch subwoofer, if you do a normal, let's say, subwoofer installation with 1 or 2 pieces, can easily reach down to 15 hertz linear in a room. But we're not specifying our subwoofers on our spec sheet in room response. We spec them as anechoic. That's why if you look at the spec sheet, they start rolling off. But anechoic has absolutely no room gain, right? So in every room, you always get a room gain, a boundary gain. So you always get a much better response and extension than what we spec.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. And in there, you have a 32 infrasub.
Yes.
Which is now on the smaller side.
Yes.
what you guys offer. So if you follow AV Nirvana, we recently covered the launch of, I believe it's a 64 or 65 inch.
64 plus 100 inch, yes.
Plus 100 inch. And folks, just try and get that into your head real quick. We're talking about a 100-inch driver, which is a little bit, we were just doing some math in there. It's about 8 feet roughly.
Right.
This is a huge surface.
Yep.
So we're going to get into how you move something like that around in a second, but how do you power that?
Well, we developed specific amplifiers to power that because to power a subwoofer like that, you need a lot of energy, clearly, right? To accelerate it and to stop it, accelerate it, stop it, and whatnot, because the cone mass alone is really big, And of course, we have a huge voice coil. The voice coil alone is 21 inches in diameter. So other subwoofers, I mean, their biggest subwoofer is maybe 18 or 21, right? So this is the size of our voice coil of that subwoofer, right?
It's big. I mean, right here we have an 80-inch.
But that's a shrunk version.
Oh, this is a shrunk version of the
Yeah,
80. Okay, so I mean, we're talking just about a massive, massive driver. How much does the driver alone weigh?
It's 260 kilos. So that's probably, what is that, like 550 pounds?
Something around there.
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe a tad more than that.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's just the driver.
Just the driver.
Just the driver.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to put the driver in something.
Correct.
Do you have custom built cabinets, or is it built into a wall, or how is that managed?
Well, just shipping the driver, just to give you an idea, just shipping the driver, you cannot ship the driver in a container because the container is not high enough and wide enough to ship this driver in a container. So what we had to do is we had to build a very special crate that is putting the driver diagonal, because only diagonal we can fit it in a 40-foot high Q container.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to even conceptualize that you have a product that's so big it won't fit into a container. So you have to.
Yeah, the logistics is the problem, really.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can imagine we cannot pre-build an enclosure for that subwoofer because you cannot transport it, you cannot move it inside a house, because there is no house with so big doors that you can move it in. Right?
Right.
So we have to custom build the enclosure at the customer's home. And usually that is poured out of massive concrete because it needs to be very, very heavy that it's not starting to resonate, of course.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot build that out of wood,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a concrete cabinet, basically.
Yep.
And I would imagine the ultimate weight, you must be well over a ton in weight, which...
The enclosures, they weigh, depending on the size, between 15 and 30 tons.
This thing is just sounding incredible. I mean, there's nothing has ever been made like this before.
Yes, absolutely. Nobody did that ever. What we do, I mean, you need to understand, we want to move a lot of air. So our woofer literally is a very fast, very accurate air pump, because the lower frequency you reproduce, the more the air moves around the cone, of course. So the coupling between the cone and the air becomes more loose and loose and loose. It's very simple. If you, let's say, walk on the street, you have no resistance on your hand, right? That's a very low frequency. Yeah. But if you use now, let's say, a parachute that is really, really big, maybe even bigger than the woofer, then you start feeling some resistance, even at low speeds, right? Now, when you move up in speed, I mean, let's say you hold your hand outside the car window, you already feel some resistance, right?
Right.
Now you hold your hand out of an airplane window, your hand is gone because the resistance increases, right? But we deal with very low frequencies, so the resistance is just not there. The air moves around, moves away, right? So we need to increase the size of the cone that we have more resistance. So better air coupling, right? And that's why there's a lot of people, they say, oh, but I just use 10 or 20, 15 or 18 or 21-inch subwoofers. Yeah, but it's not the same thing. You're not coupling the air to an 18-inch cone or a 21-inch cone, even if you use many of them.
Would the same principle hold true, though, as you get into your larger infrasubs?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. It's the same principle for any loudspeaker. Why do you think a tweeter is smaller than a mid-range? Why do you think a woofer is bigger than a mid-range? Why do you think an infrasonic subwoofer is bigger than a woofer? Right? For that very reason, we talk about physics, right? And every time you go down one octave below, you need to quadruple the air you move. So the air displacement, to keep the same SPL, by the way. Right,
which is key when you're talking about frequencies that low. I mean, you need...
Absolutely, because One thing you also need to keep in mind when you talk about the equal loudness curve, so basically the frequencies we perceive at the same volume level, our ear becomes less and less and less sensitive to the low frequencies. So in the end, the ideal loudspeaker would have an increase, in magnitude response towards low frequencies.
Right.
But every subwoofer, every woofer, even our infrasonic woofers, they start rolling off at low frequencies.
Right.
So you need to compensate double basically for the insensitive ear towards low frequencies and also the rolling off subwoofer, right?
By kicking up the power. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why we do what we do.
Yeah. This is really awesome stuff. I hope someday I can see 100-inch Infrasub in person, because I'm imagining Back to the Future, but times a little bit, maybe times 2, times 3. But very cool stuff.
Well, you will. I mean, we're building projects with this woofer today, and eventually they come, online, and hopefully the owners, of course, we need to sign NDAs with these kind of customers, because you can imagine who's buying those. Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully some of these customers are allowing us to publicize the information, about the systems.
Have you all released price points on these speakers yet, or is that something that's just left for dealers to deal with?
Well, I think if you have to ask price, then you cannot afford it. That's the simple answer.
It's true. Yeah. It's like if you have to ask about the cost of insurance on a Ferrari, you probably shouldn't be buying that Ferrari.
Well, I mean, we're talking probably more the kind of cars that cost 10 times the money of the Ferrari.
Yeah.
These kind of customers buy our products,
Yeah.
So Ferrari, yes, I mean, that's probably their daily car.
Yeah. Wow. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks for taking a few moments to chat with us. I love how you break things down, and it just makes it make a lot more sense, I think, to a lot of folks out there. So thank you on behalf of everybody that's watching, because I know a lot of people enjoy these videos, and good luck at the show.
Absolutely, Todd. You too. Have fun, because there's many, many rooms to experience.
Yeah, and this is a really great setup.
Yeah, audio advice is just a wonderful place to be. It's a must place to be, actually, when you're a freak in the audio industry,
Yeah, I'm excited to check things out tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Todd.
And folks out there, like, share, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon.